Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinran Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, September 7th, around 11 a.m. Mountain Time 2021. Oppenheimer Ranch Project has been shut down once again, this time for 2 weeks. One more community guideline strike and the channel will be removed. We implore you all to become a Patreon now so you do not lose access to our content. For the next 2 weeks, we will be publishing exclusively here at Magnetic Reversal News, and there is no way that I can inform all of the subscribers over at Oppenheimer Ranch what has happened. So I'm asking you all to go over to the community tab there and explain to those viewers that don't know we have another channel here at Magnetic Reversal News what's going on. And let's talk about what's going on. They picked a video from years ago where we shared a headline about Ghislaine Maxwell. And according to them, reading an article in the mainstream media constitutes harassment and cyberbullying. That's their claim. Any documents detailing this woman's ties to that guy, harassment and cyberbullying. Not facts, not editorial commenting or reporting, but bullying. And that's just the nature of the woke tube. And so we are shut down. But the big story, we have severe weather risk on the East Coast. Thunderstorms will bring a chance of flooding 1 week after Ida. There is the Kona Depression. Keep calm. We're still going, even though we're a little heated, and it's still boom time. Lehigh Valley at risk of severe weather. We just showed you the map, and we'll blow it up for you here in just a second. Excessive rainfall this week. Rotating storms are not out of the question, the Weather Service says. And we know what a rotating storm is. That has the potential to form tornadic activity, potentially. And here is the one marginal area of severe weather risk. Marginal is still pretty severe here because this area is saturated. And some areas still backwater and flooding is present. Now, strong winds, hail, and more brings the threat of severe weather to the Chi-Town area as well. And this is right now as I bloviate. Let's talk about two tropical systems, Larry and another disturbance, number one. This is going to come up into the Gulf Coast here and potentially wreak havoc again on Ida-saturated areas in Louisiana and the southeast here. So we're going to keep a close eye on this, and we'll be reporting in a day or so on the effects that may be occurring here. Larry is making a quick run-up towards Bermuda. It's going to stay well offshore of that island, but may create some heavy surf as well as for the northeast and up as you move up here towards Canada and Halifax. Might be a direct hit here, so keep a close eye if you're living up in that region. That is days away. Dangerous heat in the west, severe storms in the Great Lakes. Another dangerous heat wave is expected this week for a large portion of the west into the central high plains and Texas, along with excessive heat warnings and heat advisories. Expect a number of record high temperatures. Meanwhile, a cold front will likely trigger a number of record cold temperatures. Some severe thunderstorms with damaging winds, hail, heavy rain, tornadoes across portions of the Great Lakes on Tuesday, which will be their lose day, and that's today. More Orwellian doublethink from the scientific establishment. Extreme cold is now a result of global warming. You can't even make this up. Well, actually, they did. UK fires up the coal power plants as European gas shortages worsen. Intense polar cold also headed for New Zealand after New Zealand Met claims that they just suffered the hottest August ever. A dystopian world indeed. Seismic update. No quakes of note. Thank God. Another glacial outburst flood begins at the Vatnajökull ice cap in Iceland. We reported on the first outburst about a week ago, maybe 8 days now. A second outburst began about 3 days ago, and now we have two glacial outbursts meeting as one in the Skap River, and it's moving south. In fact, the output is amazing, 106,000 cubic feet per second. And so that's a particular rate, flooding out there. And there is some unconfirmed activity in the area of Kjellir in Fagradalsfjall Mountain. This could simply be some bad photography, but it looks as if there is some glowing out there in the distance near the Kjellir, Fagradalsfjall Mountain. Geological phenomena widening the Atlantic Ocean. Now, this is a breakthrough paper from the University of Southampton, and no one is picking it up. Because why? Well, it goes against the entire narrative of the plate tectonic theory. But it does support what we've been saying on the channel since its inception, that the Earth is in fact growing, and it is growing at the mid-ocean ridges. Now a paper confirming that. An upsurge of matter from deep beneath the Earth's crust could be pushing the continents of North and South America further apart from Europe and Africa, new research has found. Now, this would mean that mantle plumes deep from the are not the reason, but these are actually plumes from the core. And there has been another channel talking about how the three-dimensional concept of the concentric rings of the Earth is nonsense, and we agree. This material is between the Earth's crust and core that is welling up and is causing the mid-ocean ridges to move apart. And that would mean that subduction zones are simply an artifact of mid-ocean ridges and the growing of the planet. So plate tectonics would have to be reworked in the fact that subduction zones are simply the effects of the growth of the planet at mid-ocean ridges. And that, well, that's a mind blower. Now we may finally know where high energy cosmic rays come from. And where do they come from? Well, as we have posited, let me find the sentence right here. Now, this group combined all three data sets and determined that protons account for 67 plus or minus 8% of the cosmic rays, while cosmic ray electrons account for 33 plus or minus 8%, a roughly 70 to 30 split. Now, these findings are groundbreaking since they are the first time that the possible origins of cosmic rays have been quantified. And they also constitute the most definitive evidence to date that supernova remnants are the source of these cosmic rays, making it ever more obvious that supernovas, well, they are happening everywhere and often. Huge find of 400,000-year-old bone tools challenges our understanding of early humans. You think? Now, in fact, it challenges it so much that they actually have to rework the date here. Take a look at some of these. Given the diversity of tool types here and the techniques used to create them, archaeologists may have to recalibrate the timelines for when these instruments and their production methods were originally developed. Yeah. There was mass production of bone tools, awls, and points, spear points, 400,000 years ago. That's like over 20 cosmic catastrophes ago, 20 magnetic excursions, and we're still here. Well, except for a lot of the information on what we used to be like. That's what's missing. Now, dinosaur bones became griffins. Volcanic eruptions were gods fighting. How geomythology looks to ancient stories for hints of the scientific truth. Now, this article claims that the first textbook ever on geomythology was published this year. And in fact, that is the title, Geomythology, and you can buy it here at a discounted rate. And it's an amazing book, albeit short. But geomythology has been brought to the forefront by the Thunderbolts Project, one of the mainstream electric universe sources of information that use myth to unravel our ancient past. But good read nonetheless. Get the book if you so care. Now, pandemic unemployment benefits just expired. What will families do? Well, I hope they get a job, finally. These people have been sucking the teat of the government. Businesses are closing because lazy people are collecting unemployment. And now 7.5 million people actually have to go to work. Well, thank God. I might actually be able to go to a restaurant tonight. And once again, we are shut down at Oppenheimer Ranch Project. That's a boom, unfortunately. Now, one last thought. Something coming up here we want to draw your attention to. And that's the Heartland Institute's next climate conference, the Great Reset. Climate realism versus climate socialism. The future of climate policy is about to be decided. And one of the speakers will be Willie Soon. And we're going to try to get out there as media to cover the entire event October 15th through the 17th. So check out the Heartland Institute's next climate symposia and register and join us for the event. Hope you got something out of the video. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in a dystopian world where the woke controllers want you demonetized because you speak the truth. That's a boon to knowledge. Share this with like-minded people. Subscribe to the channel. Become a Patreon. We love you.